Homestead. I'm your boy Reaper. Today is Tuesday, September the 30th. It is currently 65 blah, 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 blah. It's currently 65 degrees. The high today is supposed to be 88. The low is supposed to be 65. There is a 10% chance of rain today, according to the weather people, around 1 p.m. here. Let's get started. Let's go ahead and get started. Flipper Ripper. We're gonna get this lemon tree. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's take this lemon tree. Let's take one of the. Well, this is one of Lucy kids. Let's take this little kid and put this out here in what we call in the orchard. But yeah, today is gonna be. Where are we gonna put this at though? I need to put this. I want to put this on one of those yellow tops, so I have a way to kind of keep it watered. Don't really want to crowd it. Let's put it over here next to this avocado. You can get more sun. Let's put this over here. You got a neighbor. Y'all play well. Y'all play nice. Yeah, I know. He too close. I feel you. He'll be alright. But alright, so we gonna yeah, first things first, I need to go get my bowl so I can harvest some okra. And then we're gonna check the garden like we always do. We're gonna give it a quick little walkthrough. We're gonna check on our JMS, our Jadam microbial solution. Then we're going to harvest some okra. And I just left the bowl in the house. I'll do that. Just walk it out. I left it in the house, bro. And then we're going to try to get some tilling done out there in Fallen Pines. Give me a second. I'll be back shortly. All right, we are back. We have a bowl. We're gonna just carry this bowl around for a hot second. I'm gonna walk around. Probably need to move that lemon tree too. We'll do that in a little bit. All right, how's everything? How y'all doing this morning? Y'all getting the first sun? Yep, first sun on the homestead. That's what's up. Beautiful day. Y'all looking good. Yes, y'all are. Yeah, yeah. A little loofy. Some little loofies. Little loofies. A few little loofah. All right, let's go ahead and put this bowl right here. Hold that for me. All right, let's go ahead and check. Eh, let's just look around first. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. This is in here tighter. Do a little cleanup. That's because we walking by. All right. Hey, Mr. Peer. How you doing? You doing all right? You looking pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Banana man. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all know that's part of breakfast. Okay. We got some bok choy. Oh, something's eating the bok choy. The queen mentioned it like it's dying. She thought it was drying out. Nah, it's become food for something. Yeah, that's what happened with that. Kale is looking okay. All right. Keep moving on around. Cayenne. Man, this cayenne not looking too hot. All right. Oh, this cayenne here though. You got some more peppers on you? I mean, some more flowers. You trying to give us a few more peppers? I'm just trying to feed the squirrel. Got the Anaheims. Y'all looking pretty good. Yup. Yup. Okay, we got two bell pepper on that side. I gotta keep an eye and a count on the bell pepper here. In case Mr. Squirrel decides to come by and eat some of my, I don't know. So I think it's 5 on this one. 3 of them up here. 2 of them down there. And it's a chance I missed a couple. This one over here has about 300 that I can see. I'm still getting a few serranos. Still getting some serranos. That's not bad. Some poblanos. Okay. Okay. Y'all do something now. Y'all do something now. Not bad. Not bad. A couple little bananas. A few little banana peppers. Alright. 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 Let me see. These are some serranos that I kind of took some cuttings of. Alright. Alright. Let's just loop around. We'll come back to strawberries. The ginger patch. It's looking pretty good. All the leaves are open. Strawberries. I'm gonna have to replant this one. It's no biggie. I'm gonna add some more soil to it anyway. But man, look at y'all fall flowers. Hey Cosmos, what y'all doing? Living out here in here amongst this holy basil? Yeah, she ain't had no chill. What the echinacea doing? Still, oh, that smells so good. Oh, I love that smell. Some patchouli, some ginger. Oh, I noticed this yesterday. I made this little thing out of scrap wood. It was supposed to be a a carpenter bee hive, home hive, whatever. I don't think carpenter bees moved any much. They prefer being underneath there. But if y'all can see that, look at them little green and brown plugs that I drilled a bunch of random size holes in there. But something has filled those holes up with like mud and or grass material. I have no idea what animal, what insect would do that. The dirt makes me think dirt dauber. The green, I don't know. But I'm gonna do a little research on it and see what we can find out about it. Some more ginger, some callaloo on the ground, some oregano in this corner, cleary sage. Everything's looking good. Finally got marigolds blooming. Some more holy basil. A few little squash, some fall squash. And you know, you know. I kind of figured that one was gonna kind of be blah 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 blah. But it's all right. Today I'm gonna soak some garlic too. We're gonna soak some garlic and some K&F inputs, and we're gonna try to get it planted. You're supposed to plant garlic 9 per square feet. That's about 4 square feet, so we should be able to get like 36 garlic in there. Huh. We will see. Ah, on my toe. Not callaloo, green amaranth right next to some, green Malabar spinach right next to some red Malabar spinach. Yeah, yeah. All right, we are back. Oh my God, we're at a good spot here, baby. Right here. Look at that. Somebody come look at it. Somebody come look at that. That okra is finally dry to the point to where I can pull it. If I leave it any longer, you see as it's doing, it's gonna want to split open and drop all the seed. But we're trying to collect the seeds, so we're gonna grab it before it finishes its job. Now that we have one of these pods, we're probably gonna get 2 or 3 of these pods before we just, do something different with the plant. Like I have not tried to eat the okra off this plant. This plant had a little setback in the beginning. It kind of freaked me out. So I have been just growing it for the seed. And right now this is the first pod to have gotten ready. As you can see, the pod starts to split once it starts to dry. Was I early? Probably. But I'd rather take the chance of cutting it off a little bit early, drying it in the house, or drying it in the house than letting the seeds fall on the ground. Because it's going to do it at some random time I'm not ready for. But yeah, we now have some ink room in 1010, so tree okra. We now have some tree okra seeds. And then we're going to just put that in here. We're going to bury that too. Get up under there. All right, that's a good thing. So I guess within the next week or two, we'll get a couple of more pods. And I'm thinking once we get like It's kind of hard to say. Like I would like to try to eat some of this okra. I don't know how many more flowers it's gonna put off because I've already made the switch from putting out flower mode to finishing up seed mode. Yeah, we just gonna let all these finish, and then we'll have what's that 5 pods on there now? 6 pods worth of seeds to grow next year. I have to look into selling seed too. I think that's a process though. I think you have to get some certifications or some licenses or some approvals. Somebody got to say yeah. But the lettuce is looking good out here though. Look at the lettuces. Look at the lettuces. We have a few cayenne on this plant here. The peppers seem to like this little corner. I mean, look, it's getting sun first thing in the morning, and it's gonna get some more sun in the afternoon. All right, we've checked that. We've checked most of the stuff up here. Now we finna check. Excuse me. We finna check our JMS, our Jadam microbial solution. We started making one of these yesterday on stream, so it's at about the 24-hour mark. The other three we made last night, so they're around the 12-hour mark. So we're gonna pull this back, and we're looking for bubbles and activity. One thing that I noticed, I'm using some coolers, some water coolers. They are insulated, so at night the buckets, the water was way warmer, and then in the coolers it was not so much. Whoa, 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 whoa! That's good. That's kind of making me think. We're gonna wait. We're not gonna use it now. We're gonna see. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Um, it usually takes 24 to 36 hours, but we're not in 90-degree weather. We're in the 80s. But this is looking good. I'm gonna have to just keep an eye on it. This amount of bubbles lets me know that there's a lot of activity going on because this is anaerobic. There's no oxygen being introduced into here. So the bubbles that you're seeing are proof that the microbes are multiplying and living their lives. I should have put something in this bag to weigh it down though, like a piece of brick or something. Come on, bro, sit up straight. I should have put something in this bag to weigh it down to make sure it stays steeped. Lesson learned. But this is looking pretty good so far. And what we're looking for is more bubble activity to where you don't really see any spaces. I'm gonna keep an eye on it because this is kind of relative. 24, 36 hours is just a gauge. If I'm looking at this and I start to see that the bubbles are dying off and I'm starting to see more water, that means we caught it on the backside of the population when it's dying off and not when it's growing. So I'm gonna check this again. What I'm gonna do is in 4 hours, I'm gonna check it again to try to compare the level of bubbles. And that way I can kind of see if we're getting more or we're getting less. Because like I said, what is that? That is called Jadam microbial solution. I'm a natural farmer and it is part of the Jadam system, JADAM. And what we did, we boiled some potatoes. White potatoes is what we boiled. Just boiled some white potatoes. Actually use one per bucket. You probably can go 2 or 4 depending on the size of the potato. Decent sized potato, nothing crazy. So this size, you're probably gonna use 2. I use 1. We boiled a potato, right? And then we took a bucket of 4 gallons of non-chlorinated water. So in our case, it's water that sat out for 3, 4 days until I got back to it. Then we went into our compost bags, our leaf mold compost bags, and we grabbed some leaf mold. All right. So we just, we compost, but we don't turn it. We just stack it up and let it sit. Lazy man compost. It takes forever, but it's less work, right? I'm not a one-man show, but I do a lot of outside stuff and I have other things to do. So I'm not trying to turn compost, nor do I need compost in a month. So we get a handful of that leaf mold and I got a paint strainer. I put the handful of leaf mold in the paint strainer, right? Put the potato in the paint strainer. I put a tablespoon of salt in the bucket of water first. That's the first thing I did. Then I dissolved it. Then we took some what's called IMO, some indigenous microorganisms that we collected. Some were collected from here, some were collected from a friend's property. We added a few little pinches, small little peaches. This is rice and brown sugar and the microbes. We put that in there, give it a good mix, and we let it sit with a little top on it for 24 to 48, 72 hours, depending on weather. The weather here is lows in the 60s so far, highs in the upper 80s, maybe low 90s. But since we've been doing this, it's been like mid to upper 80s. And it should take 2 to 1.5 to 2 days, 1.5 to possibly 3 days. And then what we'll do is we'll use this solution to water the garden. What's happening is the microbes that's in the indigenous microorganisms and the leaf mold are being fed the starches and the carbohydrates from the potato. And so the starches and the carbohydrates from the potato feed, I really want to say, the fungal activity in the fungal bacteria. Is that even a thing? Fungal bacteria. The fungal organisms that's in the solution, they multiply. And what we're seeing is the byproduct of them multiplying. As they multiply, you see them bubbles still popping? That means activity is still happening. I'm not touching it. There's no oxygen being added. So as they consume the starches in the potato and the carbohydrates in the potato, then they multiply. And a byproduct of it is probably carbon dioxide that they're putting off more than likely, not oxygen. So we're just seeing trapped carbon dioxide bubbles. So what's happening is there's what they call a cylindrical current happening. So everything is the food and stuff is in the middle. So everything comes to the middle, circles down, comes up around the side, and it kind of repeats that process. So there is no air, but there's a small little current going. I doubt we'll be able to film that. I've only seen it once myself, that I've done myself, where the edges kind of pull back, the foam kind of, there's a thin little gap around the entire edge where it's just water. And you can kind of see that cylindrical current kind of happening. All you really see is the up part here, and it kind of goes toward the middle. But that's what it's doing. But that's what this is. We're going to use this in the garden at a rate of 1 to 20. 20 to 1. 1 to 20. Wait, how am I saying this? We're going to use this at a rate of 20 to 1. So, radio. I just knocked my stick off. Hold on. Forgive me. Let me try to get this back on here. And then I keep talking. Can't do two things at one time or something. Yeah, we're going to use this at a rate of 20 to 1. So, in doing the math, for a gallon, we're going to use 6.4 ounces. So, that's a half a cup and a quarter of a cup, right? 6 ounces, every 2 tablespoons is an ounce, so that's like 12 tablespoons or 13 if you're gonna count the half or one. But yeah, that's how we're gonna mix this up. 1 to 20. Oh, my bad. Let's check the one in the cooler. Let's see. That one was at 24 hours. These other 3 are at around 12 hours. Let's see how they are doing. And like I said, we're gonna mix this up. We got a 2-gallon watering can somewhere. Oh, yeah, right there. And so we're going to end up putting 6.4 times 2 is what, 12.8. So we're going to end up putting like 13 ounces of this solution into there. Fill it up with some water, rest it up with water. And we're going to just treat the garden. We are just basically trying to get these microbe populations on the soil so they can continue to multiply. And they can kind of do the tilling work of the soil. We are not a no-till, I kind of call it, we are a light till situation. Light till. Light till operation. We do till. We pretty much till the first time we are using a plot, and after then, we pretty much don't till it. Now, do we till it more than once? More than like, if at all possible, yes. I try to till it more than once. I try to till it once, let it sit for a couple of weeks so any kind of grass can start growing, and I try to kill it again. Till it again. What I'm trying to do is decrease the weed seed bank. You know what I'm saying? There are seeds to weeds everywhere. So, till up the ground, let them sit, let them start to sprout, kill them before they go to seed, and then now that plant ain't coming back, nor is it's pushing its life around, its progeny. So this is about 12 hours. Any activity is good. We see bubbles, that we know something is happening. It's looking pretty good. I'm definitely going to have to put a rock in here next time, though, to keep this thing sunk. All right. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. I'm okay with that. I'm pleased with that. All right. That's going to work. Now, my OCD says check the other buckets just because. So, we going to check them other buckets just because. We checked the 24-hour and one of the 12-hour ones, and they should all be similar. But you know what? Let's check the 12-hour bucket and not the cooler. Now that cooler may work out. If there's any heat that's produced when doing this, then that heat is going to get insulated and kept in this water, which will make it faster. This process is directly related to heat. The warmer it is, the faster it works. Until a point of diminishing returns, I'm sure, right? I don't know what happens if it's 100 degrees plus. I think 95 degrees, it takes like 12 to 24 hours, I think. That's what I've heard from someone else. I've never tried that in that temp. So let's see. Let's see what this one looking like. Ooh, baby. Ooh. And I wish I could describe the smell. It's weird. It's not quite yeasty. It's a different smell. Not a bad smell at all, though. And so you see how that little ring is starting to form around the edge? You see that? That's a good sign. I might have to keep an eye on that first one, though. I kind of think we missed the prime on that one, which ain't a bad thing, but you just want to catch these populations while they're still growing, not when they consumed all the potatoes. And you know what? The other part could be me. Maybe I didn't put enough food in there, enough potato for them to eat long enough for this to fully finish brewing. That's all possible. Because, I'm still learning. We still practicing. We learn through trial and error. We gonna FAFO, baby. But I'm actually excited about that. So the 24-hour one, we're gonna check this again around lunchtime, and we're gonna see if it's more. I'm gonna check it before then too. I just don't know how quickly I notice the changes, honestly. I'm gonna check it in 2 hours and again in 4 hours. And I'm looking for more spaces. If I find more spaces of water and less bubbles, then it missed prime, and I'm gonna use it anyway. At a minimum, we're gonna put it on the compost. We inoculate everything with microbes. All right. All right. Oh, tomorrow is trash day for us. So tomorrow we will be riding around the subdivision and seeing who is bagging leaves already. And that's what we use. We use the leaves for our compost things, and we use them for mulch, and we use them to put down like the spot by the fence out there in the outer rim. We grow sunflowers out there, and pretty much only thing we grow out there is sunflowers out there. It's because it's a lot of shade next to that fence when it's short. So what I do is just put leaves on that area, thick layer of leaves, let them sit out there all winter. And so adding those microbes to it help break them down, help return more organic matter to the soil. Let's see. I don't think we have anything any beans, peas that have sprouted just yet. I might get skunked on these peas, honestly, because these were old peas. Oh, maybe not. That looks like one right there. That looks like something I planted. Okay, so we see that right there. We're gonna let that little green stick out of there. We ain't gonna cover that up because it's gonna be looking for the sun to get green. Yeah, but it's a chance that we may get stumped when it comes to these peas. These peas were old. We always start growing our older peas first, and we don't necessarily do germination testing. Like, we're not gonna put out 10, 20 seeds and see what rate at which they germinate to see if we need to plant them. We're not at that point yet. We just put them in the ground, hopefully kind of early to see what happens. Avocados are looking pretty good. Hopefully we can take them to a friend's greenhouse this winter or high tunnel and see if they'll make it. I think the most of the stuff I'm gonna let sit out here, the stuff I know is not tropical, like the avocados, these three, one, two, oh, the lemon tree too. Lemon trees and avocados. Once it drops below like 50, they'll get moved to the garage. The figs will stay out here. The pomegranates will stay out here. The mulberries, they will stay out here until we're gonna get down to freezing. If we get down to freezing or below, then I may move them. I know the figs will survive. I mean, they live outside. They're not native to this area, but I have figs in my hometown, and nobody covers up a fig tree. They're just big. But anyway, pomegranates, dwarf, everybody bearing mulberry, Lucy Kid, one of the Lucy Kids on the right, and an avocado on the left. These avocados were given to us by a neighbor. They tried to grow some, and kids were mowing yards one year, and they brought 3 plants home. So of course I grew them. What kind of question is that? Now we don't know what this is. We were told, and this is a lemon tree. It's Joker lemon tree, as a matter of fact. This thing is a monster. I might have to trim it up some more. He ain't gonna be able to get it home. It's already too big to fit inside his truck. Want to lay it down. Anyway, we were told that this was Egyptian something. I cannot think of the name of it. We call it the Egyptian roach plant. I mean, it has these little beans on these little pods. I don't know. It was way smaller. We transplanted and we transplanted it or up potted it and just been letting it live. We're gonna see what it does. I have no clue what this is. If they're edible. I mean, I've looked up the name of it. I don't remember off the top of my head. I have to look at it again. But we're gonna see what it does. All right. Trying not to spend too much time on this, but I have to look at the plants, right? If I ignore these plants and just jump into what I'm gonna need to do, something small that could have been taken care of quickly, um, can quickly spiral out of control. We're gonna get rid of this stuff like it's going to seed. We're trying to get rid of seeds and random weeds. All right, Beer's Black Fig, you ain't put on a whole lot of growth this year. But next year I plan on putting all these figs on the ground. Got an olive tree here, pomegranate, LSU gold fig right here. I popped off a fig yesterday. It looked like I thought it was ready. I still don't really know how to pick figs that don't turn purple when they're ready. It wasn't ready. It was big, but it wasn't ready yet. I think I just need to wait for the color to get a little bit more yellow. Um, it was bland. It was started out. There were parts of it that taste like it was going to be good, but your boy got excited and pulled it early. So I'm gonna have to be patient. I'm gonna have to be patient. All right. Some more figs, white Marseille, violet de Bordeaux, another one of Lucy's kids, olive tree right now. Oh, we gotta go get the figs that we took to the market that didn't sell. We gotta bring them back and put them back out here. Another one of Lucy's kids. We might start selling lemon trees. The only thing about that is I can't ever tell anybody if it's gonna put off any lemons. But you can use the tea for leaves. You can use the tea for leaves. You can use the leaves for tea. That's how we actually use it. This is a Delta feed. This comes from my hometown. Got some air layers on it for. I'm trying to make some new little plants. Let's do this. Let's get this water out of this tray here. Now we have a Cadota fig with an air layer on it. It's growing back its leaves from battling rust during the summer. That's what all them leaves looking bad for. It's rust that happens here. I think this is pokeweed. We're not gonna let the pokeweed go. Little red berries. This is a mulberry. These are longan fruit that somebody at the market dropped off. They was just like, "Hey, you want these? I'm growing them. Yada yada yada. We got a couple of them." I was like, yeah." Like, you don't ever have to ask me if I want to grow something. The answer is always yes. So we gonna eventually put these in some tree pots to give them more roots. I've had longanberry. They look like rambutans. Have you ever had a rambutan? Or they're like akin to a quinapa or a ganip or a Spanish lime. They all kind of different names for the same thing. I had some years ago when I went to the Bahamas. Bro, you talking about somebody that wanted to smuggle some seeds back? I wanted to have them seeds to grow. But at the time, they was like, it's going to take, 10 years or so. We will be at 10 years right about now. I'm up here thinking like, nah, man, 10 years take way too long. But we will be at them 10 years. We will be eating good nips right now. Quinaples. All right. Over here we have some strawberries and some blueberries. This is a sunshine blueberry. Bought this in the spring. It's a bed mate on the other end is a pink lemonade. These strawberries are running. Um, gonna have to. I need to propagate some of these, make more. I originally put 3 out here a few months ago, and they have done this. These strawberries are different than these strawberries. I don't know what kind these are. The ones over here, they should be Ozark Beauty. We planted some Alpine strawberries one year. They did nothing. These seem to have come out of nowhere. So it's a very good chance that these, because we recycle our soil, this is a good chance that these seeds sprouted and grew some plants. So we will have some more of these to sell come spring. I actually know what they look like. Pink lemonade blueberry. It has pink blueberries. They're actually pretty good. And over here, oh, we finally got some new growth on this climax. This is a climax blueberry. That's a tiff blue. The grapes in the back, you know, the grapes looking like it needs some help, bro. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to grapes. Out of three, that one looked like it died again. This one seems to be the one that hangs on. That one was doing decently until to my former lawn got cut it down. And now it's regrowing though. I didn't know if it was gonna regrow. I just kept watering that spot honestly. I don't know if that's like a phantom limb syndrome, just watering something that wasn't there. Where I just really was hoping that it would grow back. And I was hoping that it would grow back. Truly didn't know that it would. But yeah, we're gonna try to prune this up come winter again. When you pruning a grape, you remove 90% of the material. Yeah, it's crazy. But I don't know what I'm doing, so we're gonna figure it out. These grapes need to be pruned up, need to be trimmed up. They look bad. That'd be some more compostable material. Come out here with a bucket and we'll collect that to compost it. Need to prune up the blackberries. We're gonna do that in the wintertime so we can try to get some propagations. All right. Oh man, look at this. So somebody grew a lot yesterday. Somebody. All right, let's do this. Let's get y'all out of here. Let's get y'all out of here. My bad. My bad, people. Now it's time to get bounced around. Go take your Dramamine. Now it's time for the bouncy portion of this. This here is huge. I'm pretty sure this is not still edible. Edible. Hmm, might be. But at this side, we're gonna keep this, and then this damage right here, we're gonna cut that off. Dry, wash them off, dry them off. We're gonna make that into some okra powder. The big ones. The ones that get a little too big, they get turned into okra powder. All right. We also do a little pruning while we're harvesting. These that are looking bad or starting to look bad, we go ahead and give them a little pop off. They usually pop off pretty easy, especially when the plant is like, all right, we trying to get rid of y'all. Y'all, you had a good run. Sun getting low, big fella. Get out of here. Move, ants. I have got to look up what is the deal with ants' fascination with okra. You're gonna get bit early this morning on the hand. It's also be less if I sprayed the garden more. I hadn't sprayed. It's actually pretty much time to spray it. I didn't spray it. I didn't spray it late last week. But did I spray it at all last week? Or was that the week before? It's too much. It's too much going on. The next spray I get is gonna have to be battery powered. I finally got like a 4-gallon sprayer. That's cool. That gen's heavy though. We gotta do some math. Water weighs like 8.3 pounds a gallon. That's like 30 some gallons of water on your bike. It's heavy. I mean, it's heavy, but the straps hurt my shoulders more than anything, truth be told. Probably if I put some extra cushioning on the straps and did something different with the straps, it wouldn't be so bad. And also that pumping crap is overrated. You need electric. I'm gonna have to get an electric. Alright, I hope I'm getting this on. Yeah, I am. Okay, got the blends down. Alright. Y'all looking good. I am so proud of y'all. Yes, y'all doing well. First time out here, we ain't planted nothing out here before, and y'all are just showing out. Thank you for prepping the soil, getting ready for those sugar cane though. And just because I'm out here, let's get this. I think this is called Chinese tallow. Just need some loppers with this thing looks. Just one of them things. It's on my mind. I see it. Go ahead and knock it out right quick. Because what happened is I'll be complaining that it went to seed. Dropped a million more little seeds. Now this is all compostable material. If it's not harmful to humans or disease, compost it. We don't compost poison ivy. See right here, that's poison ivy. Poison ivy. We don't compost poison ivy. We don't burn poison ivy. Damn, it's a lot of poison ivy out here. Poison ivy. Poison ivy, and I'm walking around here barefoot. That's not poison ivy, it's pepper vine. But everything else poison ivy. Poison ivy. Poison ivy, Virginia creeper. Boy, they look alike. You might want to learn to identify 'em. You might want to learn to identify 'em. All right. Now, some of these pods are pods that are probably best picked this evening, but more than likely, I'm not going to be harvesting pods this evening. Hopefully, I will be tilling, still tilling, or finishing up the tilling on that bed. We're going to try to make it to that today, too. We hadn't turned on the tiller for real, for real. I hadn't used the tiller since I worked on the last. So I know it's going to need to be some slight modifications made, like adjusting the carburetor with the door to the air filter on, because that's a thing. Adjusting the carburetor without that door on, it's breathing more. It has more oxygen available. It's gonna breathe differently once you put that door on there, especially if you're not using the choke at all. So we're gonna adjust that and see if we can get a little tillage done, because I want to finish this bed by the end of the week. That is my goal, just so I can move forward. Got some other stuff I want to get done. I don't want to make this no long project. Alright. We got everything watered yesterday too. We didn't water Sunday. Sunday, we did a little work at a friend's farm and didn't do much on my own. I mean, I came out here and looked, didn't harvest anything, didn't water anything. Just made sure there was nothing pressing that lasts until tomorrow, till the next day, till Monday. And that's what it did, thankfully. And so then I watered yesterday. All right, let's see what we have. All right, pockets empty. All right, let's go. Come on, buddy. You're coming with me. Let's see if we can get through here without losing the eye. Oh, hold on. This is gonna mess y'all up a little bit. My bad. Gotta try to get down here and get some of these leaves. Drop it in the middle. You wanna be gone too. All right. You know, I think my mom, or was that my grandmama? I think they say they used to get like an antenna from an old antenna from a car, and used to hit the leaves, the dying, the smaller, the lower leaves on the oak, whooping the leaves off the plant. Because once they're ready to come off, they start turning brown and pretty much a slight touching, pop them off. Used to whoop the plant. I think that's funny. I'd have loved to have seen that. Grandma, what that plant do? Why it getting the whooping? Hey, mama, what that plant do? Why it getting the whooping? It been bad. So it put off no okra or bad okra. Alright, my bad, people. I know I'm probably shifting the angle on this device and it doesn't like it. The app don't like it when you rotate it. But gotta work. Gotta put that work in. Now, this stuff that's up around face level is annoying. Should have been taller or shorter. Alright, what we got here? Just trying to make sure I find the okra in the spaces I'm in, because I'm always missing. Always. Alright. You know, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to treat this okra with some bone meal. Because the only thing we actually put on this okra was we put some compost. Some of our compost when we planted, some earthworm casting, some bone meal, blood meal when we transplanted these things out. And other than some K&F stuff, some K&F spray inputs, foliar inputs, that's all they've been given. No more compost, no more bone meal, no more blood meal. That's pretty much, and the K&F stuff, those are pretty much the only fertilizers we use. Except for we do use a Spoma brand blackberry food. I found some for a lick, so I bought some. Then I found out You're supposed to use that stuff twice a year. I was just using it in the spring. I'm supposed to use it in spring and fall. Oh, I guess I need to treat them now. I guess I'll do that this year. Actually treat them in the spring to see if that helps them store more energy for the do it in the fall to see if it store more energy for the spring. That's what I'm trying to get out my mouth. Can't do two things at one time. Like walk and talk. See, a lot of these okra are just at that weird size. That's small. This is kind of small, but I may have to just come out this evening and just see. I don't want to get too big because of some self-imposed rule on how I decide to harvest. We're gonna cut this leaf here off though. Get that out the way. Looking pretty bad, Craig. You're looking pretty bad. Where you go to? Right there. All right, and now we have Mr. Peary. A little short homie. But you're putting out some flowers. You're putting out some food. So that's cool. Thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. Yes, I know. I shouldn't have put you out here with these giants, bro. You don't say that every time I see you. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's Period. Period mad. Oh, Period mad. You put me out here with all these tall folks. You know what? I'm extra short. The thing said I wasn't gonna even be 2 feet tall. You put me out here with stuff that's gonna get 8 feet tall. You don't love me. And he always complaining. But he alive though, ain't he? I'm cutting the leaves back so you can get some sunlight, bro. Bruh, y'all plants ever be complaining? Talking back, acting weird with y'all? Or was it just me? That's not the greatest harvest though, but that's not bad. We're not gonna keep picking them that small though. We're gonna wait till they get a tinch bit bigger. Hey, Mr. Dragonfly. Mr. Dragonfly, you gonna come to me? Doubtful. Mr. Dragonfly, how you doing? You wanna holler at me? No? No? I don't want you to fly away because they eat mosquitoes. A lot of them. You don't want to come to me? That's cool. I respect that. Oh, I think this spider finally got the idea. Stop building webs across my walkway and put them over here. I had been moving them right back over here. Finally did. Got a little blackberry. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, my bad. Phone in like that. Let's zoom in a little bit. Got a little blackberry. We're going to let that grow. Once it gets about a foot tall, we'll dig it up and put it in its own pot. Probably the pot that is being covered by. Same thing right there. Another little blackberry. These are going to be blackberries that we sell in the spring, as well as propagations for me pruning this up, because these things are out of control. This year, they're going to all be on the far side. This year, they're going to all be over here. So we're going to put the canes that grew this year, they're going to all be over there. We're going to harvest over there. The canes that grow next season, we're going to put them on the closer side to me. So then that way, we always picking berries on one side of the trellis, and we open up the center to allow airflow and sunlight to wrench up in there. Just wrench up in there. All right, all right, all right. Not bad, and not bad. Like I really want to add some bone meal, not blood meal. Bone meal has a little bit of nitrogen in it to deal with whatever nitrogen these growing plants need. Because even though they're setting fruit, they still need a tiny bit of nitrogen. I mean, don't go giving them. I wouldn't give them fish emulsion, but the bone meal we use is like 5-16-0, so a little bit of nitrogen, 5% nitrogen, 16% phosphorus and no potassium. We're gonna let that rock. All right, we now have that done. We're gonna leave this right here. Wait, let's make sure no ants. There's ants everywhere. We outside. We're gonna leave this right here. We're gonna go up here and mess with this tiller now, and we're gonna see. We are going to see. I'm debating. I'm trying to figure out. I'm definitely not gonna keep y'all on my chest. For one, that's gonna be loud and that's gonna be really bouncy and shaky for everyone involved. Somebody gonna comment on my post that I had to take Dramamine watching your stuff. Take motion sickness meds. All right. Let's do this. Let's put this right here. Let's take y'all out my kangaroo pouch. Put y'all on the stand. Y'all will not be looking into the sun for long. I'm sorry. Flipper Ripper. Oh, wrong button. I ain't doing none of that. Ooh, Flipper Ripper. Flip. Okay, y'all ain't trying to look at me for real. Let's, let's put y'all at a spot to where y'all can kinda. We want to go back here some. Kinda want y'all to be able to see the whole little thing, shorty. All right, that's close enough. We gonna see if we can get this tiller going. We gonna have to make it work though. Just choke it, prime it, in the on position. Let's give it a two. Almost in the first one. Okay, let's have choke it. Like y'all can hear that, I'm sure. Not a trained professional. The boy don't know what he doing. He's still learning. But that sounds like it's starving for gas. Like it's not going. It's just like. So we're gonna try to adjust it. I'm gonna say give it some more gas. I don't know if that's really what's going to fix it. We're going to adjust the carburetor screw. I don't know what it's really called. And we're going to adjust the idle screw to get it right. sound didn't change a whole lot. But we're gonna just hit the throttle and see what happens. See if it sputters out. If it goes, and we're gonna start cooking and hopping again. since I'm over here. See if anybody's seeing something. See what the time looking like. Oh, we got a couple more minutes. Oh, y'all can't see me. Yeah. Call this. If it ain't one thing, it's another. No complaints. No real complaints. The tiller is working. We've been using it. So I'm not gonna complain about that. But we do have a piece of branch, wood, whatever, wedged between the tines and the housing. So this is a good time. We at the hour mark. Good time to go ahead and end the stream. I am going to find something I can use. Oh, I have a demolition bar. That'll work. Crowbar, demolition bar. That'll work to do that. It's thin, strong. I can pop, 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 poke up in there, poke that piece of wood out. Hey, 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 hey. And we got some work done today. But this morning, with this little hour stream, we got some stuff harvested. We checked the JMS. We got the tiller functioning. Oh, um, hopefully by the end of the day, between my work schedule and my break schedule, I can get this. I can finish getting this area tilled up. I hope so. I hope so. Cause once I get it tilled up, then it'll be flipper. Let's unmute myself first and let's flip a ripper. Once I get this tilled up, then it'll be a matter of trying to make these logs level-ish. Right? The land slopes. I want the beds, the actual soil in the beds to be flat-ish. And the same thing with these. Is it gonna look weird? Yeah, it looks weird. In my opinion, it looks weird. Like this bed is like that. I mean, it almost looks like it's tilting forward into the ground because technically it is. There's more soil removed up here than it is back here. I know that that's gonna look like that. That's cool. I'm okay with that. I just want the soil in the beds to be fairly level. So when it rains, when I water, everything isn't trying to rush off to the side or to the back, right? When there's, if that makes sense, I mean it makes sense, right? If there's an incline, if water's going down, it's gonna run. The flatter this is, the slower the water's going to run. It's not gonna want to run. It's gonna want to stop and take out the momentum of the water, which is going to decrease erosion, help with absorption, with water absorption. All right. So yeah, we're gonna call that. Appreciate everybody for showing up. Appreciate people sticking around. For those who have stuck around, appreciate everybody who swung by. Hopefully your gardens are growing well. Hopefully your life is growing well. Um, be positive. Say something nice to somebody. Do something nice for someone. Just smile, right? Sometimes that's all it takes. Just smile and say hey to somebody. You never know what type of day they're having, so just say hey, right? Um, you know how we're gonna do this. And this thing like we always do. Thank you for showing up. Do the YouTube thing. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell notification. All that stuff that y'all guys like to do. Thank you for showing up for those who have shown up. And catch me on Insta. I'm on IG. I suck at this. ISUCKATTHISSS. I suck at this. Shh. Seriously. That's what that stands for. So we're gonna end this one. See y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow be trash day. Tomorrow we're gonna ride around and we're gonna see. What I do is this evening, getting closer to dark. So after I get off work, after 5, right before dark, at about 7, we'll kind of block through the subdivision or parts of it to see if anybody has put out their leaves. Because if they put out leaves, they're not gonna wait till the morning. They're gonna have them out the night before. Excuse me. And then that give me an idea of, is it gonna be worth doing the stream? I mean, because it's not gonna be a whole hour. I can go ahead and tell you that now. Usually, within 15 minutes of me leaving, the bed of my truck is full, and I head on back home and unload. So we'll do that. We'll load up the bed of the truck, come home, and as opposed to unloading and being done, we'll unload and probably start filling some of the bins, some of the, I say bins, but the compost towels, the compost bins. Yeah. All right. So I gave y'all all this stuff. Told y'all what's going on tomorrow. Y'all know how it goes, man. Create more than you consume. And you don't have to suck at this, because I do. Y'all have a good one, all right? See y'all tomorrow. Peace. Wow.